Welcome race fans, welcome NASCAR Heat 4 fans. Glad you're with us here on this wild Sunday night of racing. It's been a wild weekend of racing, not only for the virtual racers here on the NASCAR Heat 4 video game, but for the real life NASCAR drivers as well. Brickyard 400 just came to a close, and now we're all set, folks. Front Row Racing Cup Series playoff action coming to you live, Martinsville Speedway on NASCAR Heat 4. It's going to be an exciting 250-lap race. They are in their second playoff race in their 5-playoff race system. There's 13 playoff drivers still alive, but 3 will be eliminated here at the end of this one at Martinsville. Going to go through the starting order with you, and then we're going to get straight to the action at Martinsville Speedway on NASCAR Heat 4. I'm Timac11, the CEO and founder of Nascar, alongside Bad Fast Marley.
I'm here, brother. How you doing?
And I've also got Quarter Panel Outlaw. Awesome, these guys are ready to go. In fact, Marley's going to be racing in this one. Quarter Panel, of course, the pace car for this one. And we're going to go over the qualifying order for you folks. Starting on the pole, driver the number 88 machine, Clashin 04, comes into this one only 3 points above the elimination line, so very key for him to win the pole tonight. The points leader, Scotty B, in the 21 car, starts in second alongside him on the front row. Starting inside row 2, Mucka, driving the number 2 car, 12th in points, 2 points below the cut line. Another great qualifying effort for a driver who really needs it. 4th in the 14 car, you have Deadman, 4th in the standings, 10 points above that cut line. Inside row 3, you've got Bad Fast Marley, one of the in-race reporters here, 2nd in the point standings. No danger of getting eliminated here tonight unless something drastic happens. Starting alongside him, J-Wow in the number 62, 7 points above that cut line. True Death in the 3 car starts in 7th. And he's basically in a must-win situation, perhaps. 8 wins below that cut, or excuse me, 8 points rather below that cut line. Maybe needs some stage points at a good finish or a win. Portal Guy starts in 8th in the 47. Starting in 9th, Field Filler in the number 31. And starting in 10th is Bad 5 Martin in that number 4 car. Starting in 11th is the number 9 machine of Lynch Racing, comes into this one 2 points below that cut line. He needs a good run, and he needs to start marching his way forward after that qualifying run. Phil's Fan 94 in the number 8 machine is going to join him on the outside of row 12. He sits 9th in the point standings, 2 points above the cut line. He needs a good run as well. And last but not least, Pittman, the rookie they call him, in the number 18 machine. He'll be rolling off 13th. He'll be shotgun on the field, 4 points above that cut line. Folks, it's 250 laps. Stages are on. The top 10 in each stage gets points. Fuel and tire wear is at ×3, so we are expecting pit stops in this one, especially in the final stage. We're just about ready to go here. These 13 drivers are strapped in and ready to rumble, and I'm going to do my best Tron impression when I do this, and I'm going to try my best to not get my folks upstairs to start laughing at me, but here we go. Drivers, start your engines!
That was excellent. That was excellent. All right. Glad to have you a part of this, Timac.
Glad to be here. Front Row Racing is a league that everybody definitely pays close attention to on the Left Turn Broadcasting YouTube channel, and it's great to be a part of it with you guys. Great to have met you guys and get into this big, huge community that we have going here. 3, 4, 5 leagues, all a part of this one big circle, and it's become quite nice to race with each other in different leagues with each other here on NASCAR Heat 4, and going to continue to do so heading into NASCAR Heat 5 in just a few more days.
All right, you can jump on in there, brother. You can jump on in there.
All right. Do we have invites? Did I receive the invites? I wasn't looking. Excellent, folks. We're going to bring you live coverage. Front Row Racing Cup Series playoff action at Martinsville Speedway. This is a very tough track. Half-mile oval, shortest track that they go to. Very flat, very tricky. not necessarily all about raw speed and brute driving, more known for its finesse and technique and smooth long-run driving abilities. Getting into a rhythm and not wearing the tires off the race car. Wasting no more time, folks. We are on the loading screen, and I may have forgot to mention this, but it is a night race, folks. NASCAR Heat 4 introduced here the night race feature. First NASCAR game to have it, and we are going to be rocking and rolling at Martinsville Speedway under the lights. 250 big ones, 250 laps, stages on. These drivers will have opportunities throughout this race to make adjustments and get a handle on their car, but it's going to be crucial for these drivers to also start out quick. It's going to be key to see, it's going to be interesting to see who unloaded with a fast race car and who can maintain good track position and stay on the lead lap in these early laps and early stages. And the green flag has been shown. These drivers working lap 3 now, I believe. We've missed 2 laps of the action, but we're rocking and rolling now. Pole sitter clashing 04 in that beautiful Valvoline number 88 Chevy Camaro. He's dropped a couple of spots back now, though, the 14 car. It's Deadman looking for the second position. He's going to take it. The inside line is going to be the preferred line, especially in the early laps of this one. The outside and middle might get rubbered in a little bit, and it might come to life in the late laps. A car that might be a little quicker than another might be able to hang on with the outside groove, but it's going to be all about the bottom, we think, here at Martinsville Speedway tonight. And in the early laps, no surprise, it is the points leader, Scotty B. I've heard lots about him, seen him in some of these FRR races that I've watched on the Left Turn Broadcasting YouTube channel. He turns quick laps everywhere he goes, finds success everywhere that he goes. He's got the lead, and then number 21 Ford Mustang making it look easy out there, all the way down right near those rumble strips in turns 3 and 4. Now thunders into 1 and 2, getting into his rhythm early in stage 1. A little bit back further, it's Deadman running in second in the 14, another Ford Mustang. And I know that Marley's smiling, one of our in-race reporters. I know he's a Ford fan, running 1-2 right now over the 88 machine, the pole sitter. That's clashing. Just behind these guys, a little bit further, is the 2 car. And that's Maka. He's running in the 4th position. Sorry, folks, still trying to get used to exactly who's who in these cars. And he's off to a pretty good start, except for right there. He found the wall just a little bit coming out of turn 4. Held on to it, still maintains a good corner entry through turn 1. And exits 2 just fine, thundering into 3. Looks like he's kind of diamonding these corners a little bit, whereas Scotty B was kind of hugging the bottom of the track a little more throughout the entire corner. Mucka taking a bit of a higher approach when it comes to the center of the corner, letting the car ride up towards the wall a bit and then using that momentum to shoot out. He's got a bit of a challenge coming up behind him. It looks like it's the 12 car. 12 car driven by Bad Fast Marley, one of the in-race reporters, doing a great job running in the 5th position in the early going of Martinsville Speedway. Now he has a bit of a challenge. It's the 3 car driven by True Death. Now, if I'm not mistaken, it was True Death that won one of those Thursday night Thunder races at Talladega a couple of weeks back. He knows how to get it done on these NASCAR Heat games. Number 3 Chevy Camaro looks strong early in the going, now losing a little bit of ground to the 12 of Bad Fast Marley. 62 of Jay Wow lurking a little bit further behind these guys. The 31 car, a field filler, is right there. 47 of Portal Guy. In fact, all of these guys are all single file for the most part. Bumper to bumper, nose to tail. Very competitive action all over this racetrack. Nobody giving an inch early in the going. Martin in the 4. Just cleared the 8 machine. Driven by Phil's fan. There you see him. I don't see any marks on these cars. Everybody holding their P's and Q's early in the going. There's a good look at quarter panel Outlaw, the pace car. He's ready for action if anything were to happen, but so far we're lean, mean, clean, and green since the start of this one. Now taking a look at your pole sitter, who's worked his way around the 14 car to regain the second place position. Now remember, Clash in 04 fell back to the third position early in the going here at Martinsville after starting in the first position, so he's trying to climb his way back. But as of right now, Scotty B leads the way, holding strong, holding tough in the number 21 Ford Mustang, doing a great job pacing the field. And he's put quite a distance on the drivers running second on back. Scotty B, Clashing, and Deadman, the top three. Venturing a little bit further in the field, it's getting interesting back here. The 3 car just made a pass on the 12, True Death. And now it looks like Marley, it looked like Marley was going to go a little bit lower into turn, I think that was turn 1 there, and came up into the 62 just a little bit. Now the 31 looks to the inside. That's field filler. Contact was made. This is coming through 3 and 4 now. Marley, very experienced driver here in the world of these NASCAR games, and he's letting some of these guys go, but he's also taken quite a bit of punishment, as you just saw the 47 of Portal guy get into the side of him on the left side there. Everyone gets a little bit of distance on themselves now. The real winner out of that, I would say, was True Death in the number 3. Was able to break away with the 5th place position and put quite a bit of distance in between himself and the rest of the field. It's now JWoww running in the 6th position in that number 62 car. And 31 of Field Filler running in 7th. Every now and then we'll check in on your race leader. He's also your points leader, Scotty B. Front row racing. Yeah, I'd say so as well. What do you think it is that separates himself from a lot of these other drivers this season? He's got quite the points lead. You think he's paying off the tech inspection, guys? Yeah. Nevertheless, something's working for him, that's for sure. 21 car, always fast out there. He's looking fast right now as well. He's got the lead. He's not looking back. Let's put a lap, I believe, now actually on Bad 5 Martin in the 4 car, who appears to be the 2nd car in line. But he's not running in the 2nd position, folks, so he's fighting to stay the 1st car 1 lap down right now. I don't see any cars immediately in front of your race leader, Scotty B, but keep an eye on that. Ooh. You're exactly right. We just changed the camera view here to looking straight ahead from your race leader, and you can see them every now and then. Yeah, I give it about 10, 15 laps maybe. They'll be knocking on the back door, maybe less than that. He's putting on a blistering pace here so far. Scotty B in the 21. Are they ever? We just tuned in, if you will. The 8 car trying to keep the 9 right behind him there. Bills fan 94 in the 8. Lynch Racing in the 9. The 47 is Portal Guy, and the 18 right there that you see, that's Pittman, the rookie. And he's going to take the position from the 47. See, keep in mind, these are the cars that are fighting hard to stay on the lead lap. They must have gotten word from their crew chiefs that the leader is approaching, because they've picked it up a little bit. They've turned up the wick. All of a sudden the 9 has passed a couple of cars, and he's launched his way through these guys a little bit. That's Lynch Racing. Lynch Racing, and the 9 car comes into this one 11th in the point standings, 2 points below that cut line. He needs a good finish. And problems for the 12 car of Bad Fast Marley, or maybe a scheduled pit stop. I'm not sure. It seems a little early, but he's on pit road. Okay, maybe. Seems about right to me. You're right. The pole sitter Clash in 04 and the 88 is on pit road as well. Scotty B is the leader still. He's yet to come to pit road. Looks like now he's actually deciding to come to pit road. Here he comes. Scheduled pit stops at Martinsville here in stage 1. You're going to see these guys make pit stops in stage 1 and stage 2. A couple of them in the final stage as well. 4 car on pit road as well. And that is Bad 5 Martin. See, it's good for Bad Martin to come in here with the 7-point advantage that he does, 6th in the standings, because he's not running the greatest here right now. He's going to really need to rally back and hope he only stays the 1 lap down. Maybe catch a caution or 2 later on in the race. Hope so too. That would be a great thing to see. The 62 was just on pit road. Jay Wow, he's leaving after getting scheduled service. The 47 of Portal Guy is on pit road right now, just leaving his pit stall. And now True Death in the 3. The 14 car giving up a top 3 spot. That's Deadman. Off to a great start. Remember, he jumped up into 2nd when he was able to get around the pole sitter Clash in 04. Since then, Clash in 04 was able to actually get back by him for the 2nd spot, but the 14 held tough right there with him. It's going to be interesting to see where everybody cycles through in terms of the running order after these scheduled pit stops. Some drivers electing to come a little earlier than others, utilize those fresh 4 Goodyear Eagles sooner, which of course, as every driver out there knows, gives you a whole lot more speed. Using those 4 Goodyear Eagles sooner. Looks like the 9 machine on pit road. He's the next one to come in for the scheduled stops. Mucka and the 2 car on pit road as well. Mucka's already in his stall. And there you see Lynch Racing. He stayed out a little bit there just in case a caution was called, I'm sure. He comes into this race trying to play things a little bit safe. He's 2 points behind the cut line, so he's trying to get stage points here. He's also trying to stay on the lead lap at all costs. Remember, before this cycle of pit stops began, the 8 car, the 47, the 18, and the 9 were all in jeopardy of going 1 lap down, so depending on where these cars all cycle through, they might still be. Some drivers taking different strategies. Absolutely, and that is a shame. Mucka had a great car running in 4th before the cycle of pit stops began. Thankfully, he comes into this one. Actually, no, he needs points. This is a terrible blow for that number 2 team. He comes in 2 points below that cut line. He's trying to make the playoffs, folks. The next round in the playoffs. 13 drivers alive right now. Will be down to 10 by the end of the night. And the thing is with this, if you're going to have a problem like that, you want to have it early. Not a problem that you want to have in the final stage when everything really, really matters and when most of the points are on the line. And Portal Guy in the 47 back on pit road, but he's got a whole lot of front-end damage to that Chevy Camaro. I believe he's going to take the time to repair it here. That looks pretty extensive damage on that machine. How many laps to go here in stage one? $18 to go in stage one, and Scotty B in the 21 car, your points leader, showing the way. I believe the pit stops have completely all cycled through. The 31 machine just surrendered the race lead just moments ago, coming to pit road, and that puts the 21 car out front at just a 17 to go here in stage one. When you stay out that long in the run, you might as well take your chances with that and give her. Yeah, it's not a bad strategy to have. I'm not sure what he did. I believe that he's still on pit road, so he has lost a lap to the 21. Different strategies going on here. The 18 car showing the way, and he's yet to come to pit road. We should see him somewhat soon. There he is, Pittman. He comes into this race 4 points above that cut line. See, the thing about this race is, folks, everybody's so close in the point standings coming into this one, and when there's stage points on the line, everybody's driving hard and hungry in stages 1 and 2. 10 points for the stage winner, of course, all the way down to 1 point for the 10th place finisher. And when you have the drivers from 3rd all the way down to 12th separated by only 14 points, it's go time. Everybody's got a shot to advance to the next round. The 18 car surrenders the race lead. He's on pit road. He's trying desperately to stay on the lead lap. We're late in this one, so he's trying everything he can to stay on the lead lap before the end of this stage. We only have 11 laps to go in this stage. Excuse me, 9 laps to go, rather. They're clicking off quick here at Martinsville Speedway. Watching the Front Row Racing Cup Series playoff race at Martinsville Speedway. 250 laps divided into the 3 stages that you all see every weekend in real life NASCAR. Fuel and tire wear at ×3. Top 10 of the stages get the stage points. And Scotty B in the 21. Putting on a racing clinic here tonight at Martinsville Speedway, the night event, the night race. Showing us why he is the points leader. Qualified second, took the lead early, never looked back, folks. Flash an 04 in the 88 machine, qualified on pole, fell back to third, rallied back to second before the cycle of pit stops. 14 car of Dead Man climbed to second, fell back to third before the cycle of pit stops began. There you see him, he's still riding along in the top 5. You know that Scotty B is leading the way. 31 car has fallen a lap down, that is field filler. And the 18, Pittman the rookie, he's also a lap down as well. So some of these drivers trying desperately to challenge each other for that free pass spot. It's the 18 and the 31 going at it for that spot. Leaders in heavy lap traffic. In fact, a lot of the lead lap cars are. It's a bit of a hornet's nest here in this part of the racetrack right now. There's the 12, Bad Fast Marley, trying to recover from his incident earlier. He's battling for position with Mucka in the 2 and the 47. And there was contact made there between he and the 47. Not the first time we've seen it in this one. Now with Portal Guy, there's the 62 machine just behind the 12. 62 driven by JWoww. Comes into this one comfy in the points with a 7-point cushion over the cut line. See now here, Bad Fast Marley's in the preferred groove down there on the bottom, but he can't quite make it work. The 62 of JWoww showing good grip and good speed on the top side. And keep in mind, this is all while Marley is getting pressure from the 14 just behind him. That, of course, is Deadman. And stage 1 is in the history books, folks, and give it up for Scotty B, driver of the number 21 car. He is your stage winner. Second is going to go to Clash in 04. Third's going to go to JWoww in that number 62. So big points for JWoww, big points for Clashin'. Deadman in 4th. True Death is in the 5th position. Field Filler in 6th. Phil's Fan in 7th. Lynch Racing in 8th. Bad 5 Martin in 9th. And Mucka in the 10th position. Those are the drivers receiving these stage points. And we still have 13 drivers left on the racetrack. Everybody's got a shot in this one, but keep in mind some drivers really have their work cut out for them. It's going to be Phil's Fan getting the free pass, and he'll be back on the lead lap in that number 8 machine in the 7th position. Looks like all the drivers that are 1 lap down or more are going to make a pit stop, so everybody's going to be stuck 1 lap down from 8th on back. Top 7 are on the lead lap, and the green flag is back in the air. You're watching the Front Row Racing Cup Series at Martinsville. Oh, they thunder into 1 and 2, side by side, close quarter action. Scotty B takes off with the lead early. The 14 settles into second. That's Deadman, and there was problems deeper in the field. There was a 2-car incident. I think that we're going to stay green through that one. Scotty B out front. Deadman is in the 2nd position in the 14. There you see him. Then it's the 88 machine running in 3rd. And that's Clashin' 04. Side by side now for 2nd and 3rd. Clashin' looks to the inside. He's going to take it from the 14 of Deadman. Just behind them, it's the 3-car True Death taking over the 4th position. He's right up there in the fight. They're bouncing off each other. Pole sitter, the 88 car, the Valvoline Chevy Camaro, making contact with the 14 Ford Mustang, and they're still going at it going into 1 and 2. They're side by side behind them as well with the 9 car. The 9 car of Lynch Racing, he was bouncing off a couple of cars there, but I don't think that it was his fault. He was forced down there. They're really going at it, folks. Good stuff at Martinsville. We expect no less from the Front Row Racing Cup Series. Always bringing you a good show on the Left Turn Broadcasting YouTube channel. Happy to bring the Martinsville playoff race to you live on the Nascar YouTube channel, and will be later played on the Left Turn Broadcasting YouTube channel as well. And while all of this is going on, Scotty B in the 21, your points leader, your Stage 1 winner, taking off here with the race lead. It's your pole sitter Clashin in second in the 88 car, and the 14 of Deadman running in the third position, and that's Lynch Racing in the 9 car running in fourth. He just made a pass just a moment ago there to get into that position past the 4 and the 3. The 3 car of True Death was up there in the fourth position just a couple of moments ago. Actually, folks, getting a bit of a running order update for you. Lynch Racing is the 4th car in line, that number 9 car, and he's actually the first car 1 lap down in the 8th position. But keeping close quarters here with the top 3. Had me fooled, that's for sure. Showing good speed out there with these guys. So it's calmed down just a little bit here. Scotty B is the leader. Flashin' 04 runs in second. Deadman in third, and he's not letting him get away, folks. These guys have been glued to each other since the start of this thing. Since the drop of the green flag, the 88 and the 14 have been really going at it for the second and third and fourth positions at times here throughout this one. And there's no sense for them to just start lagging back and relaxing either. They've got a bit of a cushion on the driver running in fourth. The 2 cars behind these guys are actually the drivers in 8th and 9th. The 9 car of Lynch Racing, the 4 car of Bad 5 Martin. They're running in 8th and 9th. First 2 cars a lap down, trying to get the free pass at the end of stage 2. So these 2 up here in second and third don't really need to get single file and worry about the big picture. They can have a little bit of fun here, and it looks like they're doing just that. Keep in mind, Deadman just found the outside wall coming out of turn 2 just a moment ago. Excuse me, coming out of 4 that was. Came out of 2 just fine. Now thunders into turn 3. He's lost a couple of car lengths now on that number 88 machine. Full sitter Clashin' 04 driving away. Love the paint job on this Valvoline Chevy Camaro. We'll see if he can start to make his way forward and charge up on the race leader, and of course that is Scotty B, your points leader and stage 1 winner here tonight at Martinsville. I think you're right, quarter panel. I think that the long run car is what Clashin has. I think it really kicks in after a couple of laps, and I think that now that he's free of all of this traffic with still quite a bit of laps left in stage 2, maybe, just maybe, he can run down Scotty B, and if he can't, then he's really going to have to strategize and figure some things out in the final stage, because as of right now, Scotty B is a firm hold on this one. I believe you. Attach an anchor to his car, a parachute, something. Yeah, this is getting exciting, folks. 42 laps to go in stage 2. Remember, the top 10 in stages 1 and 2 receive the stage points. So some of these drivers really still very much hungry and alive in this one when it comes to making the next round of the playoffs. So remember, 10 drivers advance. 10 drivers will still be alive in their quest for the 2020 Front Row Racing Cup Series Championship. right here on NASCAR Heat 4 at the end of the night. It's going to be exciting to see who it is, folks. Some of these drivers coming in here really needed good runs. Jay Wow came in here 7 points above the cut line. He's pretty good to go. True Death 8 points below the cut line. He needs a win or a whole lot of stage points and maybe a top 5 to cap it off. Portal Guy in the 47 car is motionless on pit road. I was doing a bit of a field rundown. Oh, that's terrible. See, now he comes in here with an 11-point advantage over the playoff cut line. It's going to be interesting to see if that can hold up. I know that he got some stage points in stage 1, but we're going to have to see where everybody finishes, not only in stage 2, but at the end of the race to see how that all works out for him. Tough break for him. Right, anything can happen, especially at a track here like Martinsville. It's wild and it's crazy. It's the shortest track that they go to. It's very flat and very unforgiving. Going through the field a little further, field filler in that number 31 car. Not a part of the playoff action out here, hunting for these wins. The 4 car, Bad 5 Martin, 7 points above that playoff cut line. Lynch Racing in the 9, we mentioned, comes into this one 2 points below the cut line. He desperately needs to get some stage points, maybe a win to advance. He already got some stage points in stage 1, but right now he's the first car 1 lap down and soldiering on in the 8th position. Phil's Fan in the number 8 car, 2 points above the playoff cut line, 9th in the standings coming into this one. Similar story as the 9 car, stage 1 points for him. And still trying to soldier his way around this racetrack, running on the lead lap in the 6th position, if I'm not mistaken. It's a bit of a rundown for you on some of these drivers. 13 very talented drivers, Front Row Racing Cup Series, 250 laps here at Martinsville. It's a challenging, long race for these drivers. See, as a driver myself, I know I've run many 250 lap races at Martinsville on many different NASCAR games as well. It comes down to getting in your rhythm, being smooth, hitting your marks, taking care of your tires, and knowing when to give and take. Knowing when it's the time to race someone hard and when it's not. It's a long race, there's a whole lot of laps, and you want to be the guy that's got a lot of friends near the end of this race instead of the guy that's blocked everybody all race long. So Scotty B doing a great job leading this race and keeping his cool out there. Scheduled pit stops beginning in stage number 2. I noticed the 31 make a move. Pretty sure he was the first one to do so. And now the 4 car, Bad 5 Martin's going to join him. So field filler in the 31 on pit road. Bad 5 Martin in the 4 as well. Remember, Bad 5 Martin was in the 9th position. 2nd car 1 lap down there just a moment ago before he made this pit stop. This might be his only chance to catapult himself in front of the 9 to be the first car 1 lap down, but that's assuming Scotty B doesn't put any more cars 1 lap down. Phil's Fan of the 8 on pit road as well. Oh, a couple of cars got into each other just in front of your race leader. They both stayed pointed in the right direction and didn't lose too much speed. It was the 31 and the 18, the 31 fresh off pit road with 4 fresh brand new tires. The 18 car trying desperately to stay on the lead lap. Maybe not. It actually kind of looks like he just let the leader go. That's Pittman, known as the rookie here in Front Row Racing Cup Series. He's putting on a blistering pace. And I'd say that once you're more than 1 lap down in the final stage, oh man, it's really not looking good for you. Oh, and a little bit of contact there between the 8 car and the 21. The 8 car has already been on pit road, and he was trying to use those 4 fresh tires to get around him. Now the 21 of Scotty B surrendering the race lead to come to pit road. We can also tell you that Mucka in the 2 is on pit road as well. There you see him. The 14 of Deadman on pit road as well. All the Fords hit pit road. Now JWoww in the 62 leaving pit road after his scheduled pit stop. There's True Death in the 3 in his pit stall getting service. And I believe that that's going to be everybody except for the 9 car of Lynch Racing, who's been to pit road for their scheduled pit stop in stage 2. As of right now, it's the 21 car still scored your race leader. Keep in mind he's on pit road. So the scoreboard is going to update for us in just a couple of moments here. And it's actually the 18 car of Pittman. The rookie is leading here at Martinsville. Keep in mind, folks, he does need to come to pit road still for a scheduled pit stop, but getting some very good camera time here. Moment in the sun. Keeping the sponsors happy. And leading some laps at Martinsville. Not a lot of drivers are going to be able to say that they did that today. Well, you know what? Actually, check that. Maybe. Because there's been a whole lot of different strategies when it comes to pit stops. A lot of different drivers staying out a couple of extra laps here and there. So I guess Pittman maybe wanted to join the party, get his stamp on leading some laps. Looking pretty good out there. Checking in on a few other cars deeper in the field. There you see Scotty B in the 21. He's going to be the race leader when this all cycles through. He pit around the same, within a couple of laps of the drivers running second and third, but his lead was so great over Clashin that it's not going to change. In fact, the 88 car is on the same straightaway as the 21 now because of pitting just a little bit sooner. But he's not in front of him, so we're going to be 1-2 when this all cycles through. And it's going to be Deadman in the 14 running in third. And if you ask me, I would say that it's been those 3 cars that have been the class of the field in this race. For most of this one, we've seen Scotty B in the 21 and Clash in 04 and Deadman running 1, 2, 3. Keeping our eye on the race leader, here he comes, yes sir. Brings the Toyota Camry down pit road. Gonna grab a fresh set of 4-year Goodyear Eagles, a pack of M&Ms, and a splash of Gatorade. Guess he's got his own Monster Energy drink now, I guess. Yeah, that's what he's gonna do then. He's gonna grab a pack of M&Ms and a can of Rowdy. There you go, maybe tape a couple of packs of Skittles on the dash for later. The yellow comes out. And just like we were thinking, folks, it's cycled through to Scotty B in the 21 car leading this thing. In fact, there you see the 18 coming out just behind the 21. And now keep in mind, he might be able to get around him and get one of his laps back. In fact, I hope he does, because I believe he's 1 or 2 down now at this point. But Scotty B is nevertheless your race leader, and he's got about a half a straightaway. Now it's stretched to about a full straightaway advantage over Clash in 04 in the 88 car. Remember, Clash won the pole, and his car really comes to life on the long run. But both times that we've seen him come to life on the long run, he's had to navigate his way through traffic and past cars to get up to the second position, get around cars like Deadman in the 14. So it's interesting to watch Clash in 04 in the 88 now, because he's free of that traffic for the most part, except for a couple of lap cars here and there. If his car can come to life enough on these long runs, he might be able to challenge Scotty B for the win. in the final stage. But as for the stage 2 win, pretty sure that Scotty B's got that well on hold here. "11 laps to go in stage 2 for your race leader, Scotty B." That's Mucka in the 2 car just in front of him, trying desperately to not go a second lap down to your race leader. Mucka goes high. Sorry, quarter panel. Yeah, I do understand how talented of a driver Mucka is. In fact, I've raced with him many times in the Nascar Platinum Cup Series and in the Thursday Night Thunder and many other leagues. And he's a talented driver, but it seems like Scotty B is a talented driver as well. And his setup that he's got for that 21 car is just hooked for Martinsville. And I think Mucka did the right thing there. He didn't fight him very much, didn't block him. In fact, it almost looked like Mucka overdrove the corner just a little bit on purpose, so his car would go up a little higher, and then the 21 would have an easier time clearing him, and that's pretty much what happened. And it's a similar move that I do when I see a car that's running quicker than I am coming up in my mirror. He might catch him in a couple of laps here if anything goes wrong. He's in some heavy lap traffic. The race leader is Scotty B. He's got the 31 car just in front of him. That's field filler. Remember, the 31 of field filler is one of the only ones in this race that's not a contender for this championship. He's out there looking for the win, trying to stay, prevent himself from going another lap down. That's also the 8 car of Phil's Fan 94 just in front of the leader as well. And he's desperately driving for all it's worth. He came into this one only 2 points above the playoff cut line. Phil's Fan did in the 8 car. He's led a couple of laps in this one. And he's not far in front of your race leader at this time in the 21. Now, I could be wrong, but is the 21 of Scotty B showing a little bit of mercy, or is there a problem for the race leader? Respectful move, I like it. And you saw the gap to the car behind him. I don't know if you guys saw that. That's that white car you see coming into the frame. That is the driver in second, so it's still about a full straightaway of an advantage for Scotty B. And he's on the final lap now, folks. White flag in the air for stage number 2. Oh, sorry, folks. Green and white checkers in the air. Scotty B is going to go back-to-back and claim both stage wins at Martinsville. Very impressive stuff. It's going to be the pole sitter Clash in 04 finishing in the second position for stage number 2. In third, it was Jay Wow. In fourth, it was Dead Man. In fifth, it was True Death. Sixth was Field Filler, stayed on the lead lap there. Phil's Fan is in seventh. He stayed on the lead lap. Bad 5 Martin gets the free pass in eighth. Mucka stays only 1 lap down in ninth. And Pittman, the rookie, rounds out the top 10. He'll get that last stage point, but he's stuck 2 laps down. Heading into this final stage, 12 cars left on the racetrack. And We're going to have 8 cars on the lead lap when we go back racing. Green flag back in the air. You're watching Front Row Racing Cup Series playoff action at Martinsville. And there was contact there. Oh, they sorted it out. He drove in deep, trying to get back to the back bumper of the 21. Scotty B's the leader. Clash in 04 is in second. JWoww is in third. This is the closest to the front, to the leader, I should say, that JWoww's been all race long. Can the 62 make this happen? It's Deadman in the 14 in fourth. It's the 3 car of True Death running in fifth. So many different lines being used. The 62, JWoww, he's taking a bit more of a diamond approach. Driving in a little harder, letting the car rise up towards the outside wall. Then hammering down and turning it back towards the inside, driving it out of the corner. Whereas you see Clash in 04 trying to hug the far inside throughout the entire corner, which is a similar line that the race leader Scotty B is running. And I'll tell you, Deadman in the 14, he's been pretty much flawless in this race. He's got a good piece. He's got a good car, unloaded strong, and he's been strong all race long. He's been in the top 5 since the drop of the green flag. So keep your eye on the 14. He's running in 4th. These guys are all still major players, and Scotty B's pulling away just a little bit in front of these guys, but he's not pulling away near as quick as he has been in the other 2 stages. I think that these guys have been working on their cars and learning a little bit about what they need to do to run that 21 car down, because they're still right there, folks. There's True Death running in the 5th position. Phil Stan in the number 8 car runs in 6th. The 31 car just barely stayed on the lead lap. Field Filler running in 7th. I couldn't agree more with you, though. I think that the moment they start battling, that's when they're going to start to lose them. It might be this point where I've had to do it before as well. Sometimes a driver just nails the setup right at a track that they're very good at, and sometimes you need to put egos aside and work together to catch the one fast guy. And sometimes you can dethrone them, more so at the bigger tracks than Martinsville, but it's doable. It's definitely doable, and they're trying to make it work. We just saw Deadman take the 3rd position. 14 up to 3rd. Put the 62 car of JWoww back to 4th. You could be right, because in fact, like I mentioned before, Deadman's been top 5 all race long. JWoww, he's been knocking on the door of it, but now he's finally there. So maybe that was the right call. Maybe Deadman's car is working a little bit better right now. Maybe he needs to be the 3rd car in line. The gap is slowly increasing in between Clash in 04 and Scotty B. Now looking at Scotty and looking back at the lead that he has. Now we're going to watch the 88 machine for a bit and change the camera angle to see if we can take you for a ride with your pole sitter Clash in 04. So you dive into turn 3. He's going to diamond this corner a little bit. And what I mean by diamond is you enter a little hard, going in a little low, and then let the car rise up a bit. There you see him, and then you hammer back down. He was a little lower for this one. There's so many ways that you can take these corners at Martinsville and find speed, and it comes down to driver preference and driver setup as well. Deadman knocking on the back bumper of the 88 car for second, but keep in mind, like Quarter Panel, one of our in-race reporters, and our pace car was mentioning, I'm not sure if that's a challenge or not, or if it's just him trying to push him to catch that 21 car. The gap staying roughly about the same now. And Quarter Panel, I think you're right. Every time that they're single file and they're not battling, the gap stays about the same and they can manage it a little bit with that 21. You're right, he's actually just put a lap on Bad Fast Marley in the 12 and surging forward here. See, Marley comes in with a 19-point advantage over the cut line in that 12 car. Not having the strongest race, but thankfully for him and his team, he doesn't necessarily need one. So he's out here just trying to survive and get as many points as he can without tearing up the race car. Other drivers have different agendas and they really need good runs, like Flash in 04 and the 88. The story of the race, in my opinion, has been him 3 points above that playoff cut line, or the next round cut line coming into this one. And here he is, running in second, all kinds of stage points in this one. Doing a heck of a job. One driver who will be a little bit close with everything is True Death. He is running in the 5th position right now, and he came in last amongst all the 13 playoff drivers, 8 points below the cut line. He does have stage points tonight, but he definitely needs to keep going forward. And see, I don't know, this 5th place finish might be good enough for him. All the math for the points is going to be done later by the CEO and the admins of Front Row Racing. So the point standings will be available to everybody in the Left Turn Broadcasting Facebook group, I'm sure. And we'll figure all of that out for you post-race. But as of now, it's going to be close for the number 3 team and True Death. Oh, and there was a problem for Deadman in the 14. I didn't see it. We were watching something else, and Deadman was running in the 3rd position when this happened. He's now running in 5th behind the 3 car. So this puts JWoww in the 62 up to 3rd. This puts the 3 of True Death up to 4th, and this puts the 14 car of Deadman back to 5th. 31 car still runs in the 6th position. That is Field Filler, and in 7th is Phil's Fan in the 8th. Yeah, it just goes to show you how quickly things can change here in virtual racing and real racing and auto racing. It can all change in the blink of an eye, folks, and that's another valuable point that the driver of the number 3 team, 3 car, really needs, folks. He's now up to 4th. Deadman back to 5th. Deadman comes into this one with a 10-point advantage, and with all those stage points, he's locked in to the next round. He's good to go. We know Clash in 04, Scotty B, they're all good to go as well. Marley in the 12, good to go. JWoww is good to go. Drivers that might be a little bit close here are going to be Phil's Fan, Lynch Racing, and True Death, and maybe Mucka in the 2 as well. Can't forget about Pittman either in the 18. There's a couple of drivers really driving as hard as they can all the way right down to the last lap here at Martinsville. 250 laps. Want to take the time to thank all the viewers out there for joining us for the Front Row Racing Cup Series playoff race at Martinsville. 250 lapper stages on, fuel tire wear times 3, and a whole lot of fun. 13 of the very best from Front Row Racing, and it's been an honor and a privilege to sit here and call the action with my good friend Quarter Panel, who also runs in the league I own, the Nascar Platinum Cup Series, and with Bad Fast Marley being one of the in-race reporters, driving the 12 car in this race as well. It's been a lot of fun, and if you guys will ever let me do it again, I'll absolutely do it again. Going back to your race leader. Absolutely, there's a lot of great people out there doing the same things that we all are. I run races in Nascar, I run races in FRR, I run races in the Giggity Racing League. I'm in a few different areas, and I enjoy the people that I race with, and that's what I look for the most. I'm thinking that. I'll be honest, that's where I go, man. I thrive on the competition. I race where the best are, and I think that I can find those very best drivers in leagues like NASCAR and leagues like FRR and leagues like Giggity and all these leagues out there that try their best to put on a good show and see that there's a lot more to it. I feel bad for them. It takes a lot to really assemble a great roster of drivers and have everything mesh and come together nicely, and I think that I speak for everyone when those three leagues I mentioned really have a good structure going and a great group of drivers, as you can see just from this Martinsville race alone. Yeah, I think that every race except for 2 has had either 0 cautions or a maximum of 4. I think 2 have had over 4. We've done very good for that. I was just about to bring up green flag pit stops, folks, and they have begun. Field filler in the 31, the first one to make the move down pit road. And now it looks like the 14 of Dead Man comes to pit road, and that's going to be a smart move for him, I think, because he had that issue there on the racetrack, maybe wore his tires out a little bit in the process. Dropped to the 5th position. This might be a good way for him to get some of that track position back. I think that everybody's going to need to make 2 pit stops in this final stage, and I think that the window is open for you to make it from here on 2 pit stops, and that's why we're seeing all of this happen. The 14 comes to a stop in his pit stall. The 4 car, Bad 5 Martin, coming down pit road. The 8 car of Phil's fan, who was on the lead lap before the cycle of pit stops began, he just left pit road in that 8 car. And it's always a good strategy if you're the race leader and not being challenged by anybody to stay out there a little bit longer. Especially if you're not being hounded. There's no reason to come down and have fresher tires because you're not trying to gain on anybody. So you might as well just cruise and then come on back out with even fresher tires than them. Utilize that gap. Flash in 04 still on the track in 2nd, and there's a number of cars still on the racetrack, actually. In fact, Mucka in the 2 car still on the racetrack as well. There you see him. He's in the 5th position. Oh, just made a little bit of contact with the outside wall coming out of turn 2. And he's coming to pit road. The 21 is on pit road as well. That's your race leader, folks. Penske Ford. Wood Brothers Ford. Coming to pit road, and the 3 car on pit road as well, just in front of them there. That was True Death in the 3. Yeah, pit road really becoming a busy place here. The 9 car of Lynch Racing on pit road just in front of the 88, so the Hendrick cars both in. This is going to be interesting. See, the last couple of cycles of pit stops we've seen under green, they've been a little bit more spread out when it comes to what laps they've all pit on. This one was a little bit more condensed, in my opinion, than the others. So, I don't know. 72 laps to go, folks, in this one. I think you're right. I'm looking at the gap as well, and despite the 3 cars that are 1 lap down, and between them now make it 2 as he looks to the inside of the 18 car of Pittman. I do think that he gained some time on him. Short pitting here by a lap or 2 certainly does go a long way. And then the long run gain for the car who pits a couple of laps later is there, but you don't notice it too much right away. So sometimes it's a bit of a mental thing. Sometimes the driver who pit a couple laps later begins to panic because the driver's a lot closer to him. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in these final 70 laps at Martinsville. It's not over yet. Scotty B may have the lead, but these drivers are all going to need to pit one more time. The question is, when do they do that? And what do they do? On that last pit stop, do you make an adjustment for a shorter run if you stay out longer? Do you make an adjustment for a long run car if you short pit it? A lot of things you can do. So Jay Wow in the 62 is still running in the 3rd position on the lead lap and having a good run. The 31 car, a field filler, runs in 4th. Remember, field filler was the very first car to make a pit stop. Will be interesting. Pittman, the rookie in the 18, just came to pit road, by the way, but we're going to keep our eye on this battle for the 4th and 5th position. You're right, 14 of Deadman gaining ground on the 31. 14 car of Deadman, he's got a little bit fresher tires. Like I mentioned, that 31 machine was the first one on pit road for 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles. Field filler having a strong run in this race. Gained track position short term because of that move, but given some of it back here. He lost 3rd just a bit ago to Jay Wow. Now looking maybe to lose 4th, and there you see Deadman looks to the inside going into turn 3. He's going to take the 4th position as they cross the start-finish line. Oh, wow. That is crazy. Yep, the 8 car just went a lap down, and he's in the 7th position. The 8 car is Phil's Fan 94. Looking pretty good at this point to advance. If all hold station right now, he would be one of the 10 drivers to advance to the next round in that 8 car. Next car to go a lap down is the number 3 car of True Death. He's running in 6th. He's got about I'd say a 1/3 of a straightaway of safety between himself and the race leader. That's how a lot of league races go at Martinsville, folks. Seen it in Nascar, now seen it in FRR and Giggity as well. Not many drivers left on the lead lap. Near the end, it becomes a long grueling high-speed chess match here at Martinsville Speedway, and that's exactly what we're seeing unfold here once again. Scotty B leads the way, and it's Clash in 04 running in second, J-Wow in third. Deadman just took over the fourth position there in the 14, and the 31 a field filler rounding out the top 5. Oh, and a big incident over there in the corner. The 9 car of Lynch Racing is around exiting turn 2, and at first there was a bit of a connection issue, so I thought that a couple others got involved, but thankfully they didn't. And a little bit of damage to the back of that number 9 Chevy Camaro, Mountain Dew sponsored car, and it looks like he's going to keep going, but he's going to suffer a little bit of aero damage, a little bit of handling issues maybe for the rest of this one, at least until he pits again. One more scheduled pit stop. Oh, it's a tough break for Lynch Racing. He comes into this race only 2 points below the cut line, and if the race were to end right now, I believe he would not be one of the drivers advancing to the next round. Remember, the final results, the official race results, and the official point standings will be posted and announced by the staff and admins at Front Row Racing after the race. You're right, just to further elaborate to the viewers, you're right. True Death in the 3 and 7th. Phil's Fan now running in 8th. Mucka running in 9th. And Lynch Racing in that number 9 car running in 10th after that incident. And you're right, the number 18 car of Pittman is running in 11th, and he's actually gaining a little bit of ground here on that number 9 machine. Oh, and around goes Marley in the 12. And that's coming out of turn 2 as well, same corner. It's become a hot spot here in the final stage, and that's a tough break. And when an experienced and talented driver like Bad Fast Marley goes looping it at Martinsville, you know that that car's got some sort of an issue, either aero damage or ill handling this late in the race. Because yeah, that was not like him. You very well might be right. It's the final stage, go big or go home, and if you don't leave it all out there on the racetrack, then what did you come here for? Especially when this is a cutoff race, folks. 13 playoff drivers are still alive as of right now, and it's the top 10 who advance to the next round. And in about, actually, it's in 48 laps, folks. That's when we find out who advances, who doesn't. And Scotty B is leading the way. We know he advances, folks. Most wins this season. He is the points leader. He's dominated the playoffs since we started. Came in with a 58-point cushion over that cut line. No mathematical chance of him going below. And he's led the most laps since the drop of the green flag here at Martinsville. One stage 1, one stage 2. Took the lead early in the race after starting in the second position. No, he really has not. Couldn't have said it any better. Each team has their own goals, their own agenda, and their own strategies on what they're trying to accomplish. And yeah, that's another battle for points out there, another key one. Lynch Racing in the 9 and the 18 of Pittman We'll go back to that one in just a moment. We're watching the race leader put a lap on the drivers running in 5th and 4th, folks. Field filler in the 31 goes a lap down. The 14 of Deadman in 4th goes a lap down as well. Got really loose coming out of 2 that time by. Man, I'll tell you, turn 2 has become a dangerous corner here. We're going to have to keep an eye on that, because Deadman nearly looped it over there as well in the 14, but he keeps it going strong, and he's still in 4th. Whew. Wild. He did. I was just about to comment on that. It was a short battle. I think that ever since Lynch spun the car and since he got that damage to the rear of the car, you can see it. I'm looking at it right now. It's pretty severe. It's not too bad, but you can tell it's affecting the handling of that car and maybe even the overall performance and speed, because he's lost a couple spots since the contact. Pit road beginning to fill here, folks. The 4 car and the 14 both on pit road. Teammates here, same strategy for the final pit stop of the race. We're in that window where you can make it to the end from here on fuel and tires. Looks like the 3 car on pit road as well. "14 comes to a stop in his pit stall. It's going to be 4 tires and fuel. Final pit stop of the race for Deadman. He's been top 5 all race long. Looking to finish strong. He knows already that he's going to advance into the next round. True Death in the 3 comes to a stop. We know he's close to advancing to the next round or not. He came in 8 points below the cut line. He came in 13th seed out of the 13 drivers still alive in the playoffs. He does have some stage points tonight, but it's going to be all about where he finishes in this one. That's going to determine if he advances to the next round or not. It's also going to depend on where some of the others finish as well. That's how close it is for True Death. Field filler comes to pit road. Not a contender for the championship, just coming in to have some fun, log laps, try to get some good finishes, maybe the win. And he's done a great job tonight. Ran top 8 for most of this one. Still on the lead lap and running in the top 5 before the cycle of pit stops began. Back on the track now. The 9 car, Lynch Racing, brings it to pit road. He was running at 11th when he did that. Late race developments for him have put him back a couple of spots, and that's really key for him. He needs every point he can get. Came in 2 points below that cut line. Got some stage points, but it's close for him, just like it is for True Death. It's going to come down to the final race results. We're going to have to wait for the word from the FRR admins. We don't know. It's going to be close. Clash in 04 on pit road, pulls into his stall. Scheduled final pit stop of the race. Qualified on the pole. Has run in 2nd or 3rd for most of this one. Strong car. Has led some laps. Trying desperately to run down Scotty B. Scotty B leaving his pit stall now. He's led the most laps. Won both stages. 4 tires and fuel. He's down and away. No adjustments. No complaints. Just thirsty. And after these pit stops, Scotty B is actually going to come out right where the 14 car is, so they cycle out right around where they left off, folks. Remember, before we all cycled through, the 14, Deadman was in 4th, and the field filler 31 car running in 5th. It's going to be where they are again, folks, once this all finishes. As of right now, though, oh, actually, sorry, it has cycled through for the most part. A couple of cars have not come to pit road, but they were 1 to 2 to 3 laps down before the cycle of pit stops began, and therefore they have not jumped the entire field Mucka, for example, in the 2 has not come to pit road yet, and he runs in the 4th position. But right now it is, once again, Scotty B in the 21, out front, and leading the race. As of right now, Mucka in the 2 is on the lead lap and in the 4th position, but he still needs to come to pit road, and they're calling him in any lap now and letting him know that they're ready for him. But after the cycle of pit stops, it is Scotty B leading the race. Clash in 04 running in 2nd, and Jay Wow in the 62 running in 3rd. Deadman running in 4th, there you see him. And Field Filler running in the 5th position. Been very impressed with Jay Wow. Raced with him in the Thursday Night Thunder on Left Turn Broadcasting. Saw him there, did a great job in that. He's doing a great job here as well. He wasn't really a main factor or a big player for the win in this one until late in the race. Kind of creeped up on these guys towards the end, and he's done a terrific job riding along in that 3rd position, and he's going to get some good points out of this one. He knows he's going to that next round. It's a good way to approach these races, especially at the short tracks. You can't win the race in the first couple of laps, and it's a good way to approach these races. Calm, cool, and collected, and maybe not show your full hand until later on in the race. Mucka on pit road, by the way. Want to give a quick update on that. Back onto the racetrack after scheduled service, so he will not need to return to pit road for the rest of this one. Yes, sir. I can give a confirmation for that. I believe that is the case. So actually, sorry, I have Mucka in the 2 car running in the 9th position. Paid off for Lynch, did not pay off for Pittman, and hopefully Lynch in the 9 took the time to repair the damage he had to the back of that car, because it was certainly hurting the performance of that race car. And now we have 20 laps to go, folks, in this Martinsville roller coaster ride. Front Row Racing Custom Cup Series here. 250 lap event, stages on, fuel tire wear ×3, 13 very talented drivers. Normally you see them on the Left Turn Broadcasting YouTube channel. I guess you will eventually see this live on the Left Turn Broadcasting YouTube channel, but you're also seeing it here on the Nascar Series Racing YouTube channel. Happy to bring you live coverage of their playoff race here at Martinsville. It's been a blast to see these guys battle it out. The top 3 are still on the lead lap, and we're in the final 15 laps. Scotty B is counting them down, I'm sure. He's got a big lead, but anything can happen here, and he knows that, so he just wants to see that white flag. We haven't seen very much attrition in this race. There's 1 car off the track with a motor failure, and that is the 47 car driven by a Portal guy. Tough break for him, and unfortunately it might be the cause for him to not advance to the next round. Time will tell when we do the math for the standings here. But not much attrition in this one, so there still is quite a bit of traffic out there to deal with. He might catch a couple more before the end of this one, but we are down now to 17 laps to go. Things are looking really good for your points leader, Scotty B. Touching base now with Clashin 04 in the 88, and we touched base at a good time. Contact between he and Mucka in the... It's not a battle for position, though. Mucka, of course, is 2 laps down at this time, and there you see Clashin running in second, and we're seeing a good battle for the second position. I didn't see, but JWoww in the 62 has come out of nowhere, folks, and he's run him down. 2 Chevy Camaros are going to battle it out for second with about 15 laps to go at Martinsville. 88 and 62, 2 playoff drivers. Oh, man. No, you're right. They're going into turn 3, and he's going into turn 3 right now. Oh, my goodness. Scotty B is putting on a blistering pace, folks. We're watching the battle for second and third, and when you see, when you watch them going into the next corner, you can see way down, coming into your frame, a red and white car. That's your race leader, Scotty B. In the 21, contact made. They're battling hard for the second position. The 62 and the 88. JWoww got underneath them, and he takes the position. Oh, Clashin drove it in hard. Gave him a shot back in the back bumper. JWoww was able to keep it straight, held his line, and he holds on to second position. That's the 3 car right behind them. He's running in the 6th position. True death. Man, this is good stuff. JWoww has come to life here in the late stages of this race. I mentioned earlier, was not a main factor, not a big player for the win here today, but he's come alive in the final stage. He's running in second in the 62. He's having a career race here, and the 88 of Clashin showing signs of wear in the late stages of the race, running in third and not gaining any ground on the 62 of JWoww. In fact, giving up a little bit of time to him. Oh, JWoww coming out of turn 2 gets really loose. Remember, we talked about treacherous, crazy turn 2, and it's not over yet. That opens the door for the 88 of Clashin 04. Here he goes to the inside. He takes second back, a bump from JWoww, but JWoww's going to tuck in behind him for right now. Clashin back to second. This is all with a... I think so too. They're very evenly matched right now, and there's a tiny little bit of draft here at Martinsville. Not much, but not many laps left either. 4 laps to go, and they're battling hard for second, and it's the leader coming up behind them. They're side by side going into turn 1. Crossover move. Textbook applied there by Clashin, and the 60... Oh, he sends them into turn 3. Up the hill goes Clashin. JWoww back to second. We're watching it all the way to the end, and he made a big run, but he went up the hill towards the outside wall, the outside wall instead. Excuse me, my voice just gave out. And JWoww is going to hold on to the second place position. Clashin gave it everything he had. He made a big run there. Went all the way up the hill towards the outside wall, and he had to save it, and he's going to finish in third. And it's Scotty B winning the race here. The points leader. He led the most laps. He wins stage 1 and 2. And he ultimately, in the end, gets the race win as well. Jay Wow in second, Clashing in third, Field Filler in the 31 and fourth. Dead Man is in fifth. Bad 5 Martin. He came back for a 6th place finish. True Death in 7th, Phil's Fan in 8th, Mucka in 9th. Rounding out the top 10 was Lynch Racing in the 9 car. Pittman 11th, Bad Fast Marley in 12th, Portal Guy in the 47, 13th. What a show we just saw, folks. Fastest lap of the race goes to your pole sitter, Clashing 04 in the number 88 Chevy Camaro. Don't go anywhere, folks. We're going to have a couple of post-race interviews coming your way. Scotty B, your race winner, we'll hear from him from Victory Lane. Clashing 04, we'll hear from him. Jay Wow in the 62, we're going to hear from him as well. Don't go anywhere, folks. You're watching FRR Cup Series action right here on NASCAR Heat 4 on the Nascar YouTube channel and the Left Turn Broadcasting channel on YouTube.
Hey, Timac?
Yes, sir.
Hi. Hey, brother. Thank you. I just want to thank you again that we were able to get an announcer of your caliber to come in here and broadcast Front Row Racing. Such short notice as well. I just want to give you a huge thanks. I really appreciate it. I know we all do. I know Tron, he's probably listening. He appreciates it as well. Just wanted to give you a big thank you.
Absolutely, no problem. I had a great time. You guys did an excellent job out there. There was action all over the racetrack, battles all over the racetrack, and everybody had their own agenda and goals that they had to accomplish here today to advance to the next round or to keep the points lead or different things like that. So nobody was giving up, but everybody was racing smart as well and keeping a level head on as well. So yeah, it was exciting stuff, and it was an honor and a privilege to come in and capture all the action for you guys so you guys can watch it later as well.
I really appreciate it, brother. Let's see if we can get Mucka in here.
Absolutely. I do need to go to a blue screen, unfortunately. It won't be long. Nice. Just did. Thanks, brother. All right.
It's a little much for me to talk about right at the moment, but this pesky Ford was fast in the early going, and then you know, we'll never quit. I'll always finish a race out, but certainly wasn't exactly how we wanted to go. Yes, sir.
Well, the good thing for you, Marley, is you came in with a pretty good points cushion over the cut line, and you're not really in any danger of getting eliminated. So you didn't need a good run at Martinsville, though you did want one, I understand. But yeah, that's something to look forward to. I believe that you are going to advance.
All right.
I'm pretty good, pretty good. It was on rails, wasn't it? That's I made a few changes right there about Saturday. Really hit on something, and I left it alone. I didn't touch it since, and it did exactly what I needed to do. Good on the short run, good on the long run, good pit stops. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better race.
I really don't think you could either. That 21 car was on a rail tonight. You won stage 1, you won stage 2, you led the most laps, and I was saying to quarter panel, you qualified second, took the lead early, and you never looked back. It seemed to be the case. So you didn't have too much traffic to deal with out there tonight. Everybody was running pretty competitive times for the most part until the final stage, and that's when some drivers were really showing their wear. This track is a tough one to pull off 250 laps perfectly at. And yeah, you did an excellent job not showing anywhere at all. What do you think it was that separated you from the rest of the field tonight?
Really, it'd be, I think, the sway bar that I'm running. If I had to give any advice to anybody as far as having a better car in the long run, a higher sway bar definitely gave me the car that I needed to sustain those times, throughout that run.
You're the points leader coming into this one. You'll be the points leader again when they reset the points here, I'm pretty sure. What are your goals moving forward in the playoffs? How are these next tracks for you as a driver? Are you good at them?
Yeah, I'm not so confident at Phoenix as I am Charlotte, but Charlotte, I think, is if it plays out like I want it to, and it's a good, long green flag runs, I think I'll be fine. Maybe, I don't know. Last time I raced some of these guys at Charlotte, they've been showing some speed. So Phoenix, I think we go to wait a minute, we go to Watkins Glen next week.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Watkins Glen, I'm very confident at. Phoenix, I think that's kind of up in there. I think that'll be anybody's race. That race will come down to fuel mileage and tire wear. Just like, not so much fuel mileage, as like, Martinsville, but a lot of tire wear at Phoenix where everybody's going to be sliding all over the place.
Well, we just want to wish you the best of luck and congratulations once again on your big win here at Martinsville Speedway.
Thank you, man.
And finishing in the second position, we have JWoww, driver of the number 62. JWoww, do you have a copy? JWoww, do you have a copy?
Yep, you got me?
Oh, I do now. Yes, sir. Sorry about that. First of all, congratulations on your second place finish here tonight. Great points for you. Came in here needing it. A lot of drivers came in here needing it. So many drivers so close together, right around the cut line. You came in only 7 points above it. You were kind of quiet, hiding in the lower half of the top 10 for most of the race. But you really came to life there in the final stage, charged up to the top 5 and wound up battling with Deadman and Clashing and got a second place finish there at the very end. What was it that allowed you to come to life the way that you did and get that second place finish?
As our 62 team brought a Chevy to. I can't thank my teammates enough for helping me out, giving me a good finish in the next round. And I knew I was a good short track driver coming into the Martinsville race. It's just I haven't been. I don't think only one time. But I really need to. I worked through traffic very well, and my car go faster and faster, especially in that last stage. I ended up catching up to Clash, and I had a 5-second deficit behind Clash in third place. Ended up catching all the way up with 5 laps to go, and we had a pretty good battle. It was very fun, but yeah, it was very exciting out there. Second place finish.
How does it feel knowing that you're going to advance to the next round and continue to go out there and battle for this championship here, Front Row Racing Cup Series?
It feels good. It's just one race at a time. You can't do too much, and you just always got to focus. It's just I'm gonna go on to the Glen, see what we can do there. I'm not a very good road course driver, but I'm after that one. But I'm ready. I'm ready for the next.
Great job tonight at Martinsville, and we wish you the best of luck in your quest for that championship.
Thank you.
And third place finisher, Clashin, driver the number 88. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Awesome driving out there. You won the pole, you led some laps, and it seemed to be you, Scotty B, and Deadman that were the class of the field, especially through stages 1 and 2, and then all of a sudden JWoww came to life. All of a sudden Phil's fan was right there. There was all kinds of players that came to life in the final stage and late in stage 2. But you were consistently up there, showed good speed, you unloaded fast, and you stayed fast. Is there anything you maybe could have done differently to stay with Scotty B, or was there not too much you could do?
I mean, I could have tied a rope to the back of his car, but that was about it.
He was missing 2 lug nuts.
Nevertheless, a third place finish is a great way to come out of this. You got a whole lot of stage points in this. Pretty sure you got second in both stages. You had a good car. You advanced to the next round in the playoffs as well, and you needed a good run here tonight. You came in only 3 points above that cut line. How does it feel knowing that you're going to advance and continue to battle for this championship?
It's good. Less stress now that I got all them stage points, so I should be safe for next week also, unless I have something bad happen. But definitely a stress reliever. Oh, that was the best part of the whole race. I don't know. Oh, I saw him coming. I got stuck in some lap traffic that would allow JLaw to gain like 3 seconds on me. That's just how it worked out. It was random.
I just want to let him know that he did a great job out there, and I wish him the best of luck in his quest for that championship.
All right, thank you.
And that was a who's who, folks, of a podium right there in the FRR community. 3 talented drivers putting on a great job out there. All of these drivers really did, but Scotty B, Jay Wow, and Clashin bringing home the top 3 spots. Once again, congratulations to Scotty B, the points leader, getting the job done with a big win there at Martinsville. And I'd also like to take this time to thank Bad Fast Marley and Quarter Panel Outlaw for coming along for the ride. It was a blast to call the race with you tonight. I hope you guys had as much fun as I did. And I wish you guys the best of luck in your future events closing out this season.
Yeah. Oh, no problem. I try. You know, there's always upset drivers at the end of every race. So I was one of them last week. So. Yeah, no, I got a black flag that first stage, and it pretty much cemented my 9th place finish. So it was just putting in the laps after that. So.
Now, Mucka,
Yeah,
when you, how do you approach the next race after a bad one? Does it change the way that you enter that race? Do you prepare a little differently? Do you put a little bit of extra time in your setup? What do you do as a driver when you kind of have to come back from a bad one?
I'm getting kind of used to it, so it's just on to next week, to tell you the truth. It's been a long season for the 2, you know, Miller Lite Ford. It's been a rough year, but just on to next week. Just keep plugging along, you know.
We hope that it turns around for you. I also want to let you know you have a great thing going. I had a blast watching this league here. All you drivers put on a great show tonight. Front Row Racing Cup Series drivers really know how to get the job done in Martinsville, and I've watched other races of yours at the other tracks as well. And I want to thank you for the opportunity to let me broadcast your league, Mucka. This was a whole lot of fun.
Oh, thanks for doing it, Ty. Anytime. You're more
awesome.
than welcome.
To all the
Definitely
viewers out there, to all the viewers out there, thanks very much for joining us. Hit that like and subscribe button here on the Nascar channel, as well as the Left Turn Broadcasting YouTube channel. If you're watching on the Nascar channel, feel free to search Left Turn Broadcasting on YouTube when you're done watching this. And from all of us here at Nascar and Front Row Racing and Left Turn Broadcasting, we are saying so long, and until next time, stay fast, folks.